Welcome to the Jamaica Funk Show with KT on Spreaker.com. Well, What's up, everybody, and welcome to Black History Wednesday. I'm KT. I'm your host this evening, and sorry I'm starting a little late, but this doggone Mercury retrograde stuff. I'll be glad when Mercury go direct on the 22nd of December. Hurry up, Mercury, and get the heck up out of here, because I'm tired of you messing with my technical and media and all of that kind of craziness. It's 2 weeks in a row you done messed with my show. So tonight we got a good show for you, actually a great show for you. But before I do that, let me tell you about our biggest hits and flops of 2017. So some of the biggest hits, one was Wonder Woman. It cost $120 million to make it. They made $820 million at the box office. Girls Trip, yay, with Jada Pinkett and Queen Latifah and what's my girl named Tiffany Haddish, and who else was in it? Well, I can't think of the other young lady's name, and I should be able to think her name because she was the lead in the show. But anyways, that show cost $19 million to make. They grossed $138 million at the box office. The next one is Wonder with Julia Roberts and a first-time young man. I can't think of his name. The production cost $20 million. They made $155 million at the box office, and it's still in the theaters. Now, this particular movie did excellent. Get Out with Jordan Peele in it. It cost them $4.5 million to produce, and it made a whopping $254 million. Next on the list is It. It cost $35 million to produce, and it made a whopping $695 million. And the one I think tops the chart is Beauty and the Beast. It took $160 million to make. It made $1.26 billion. And let's see, Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Now, it's been getting a lot of bad publicity in the media here lately, but it cost $250 million to make, and so far it's still playing. They've made $536 million. And then now this one was a complete flop. Monster Trucks. It cost $125 million to produce. It only made $64 million. And another one that didn't do too well, which was a flop, King Arthur, The Legend of the Sword. Their production cost was $175 million. It only grossed $148 million. So it's in the red. Another one that didn't do it did okay. It made some profit. They probably didn't make what they were expecting. It's Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. The production cost was $180 million, but it grossed $225 million at the box office. One that did halfway decent, The Dark Tower. Production cost was $60 million. It made $111 million. One that really flopped, The Promise, with Terry George, who he directed, and it had Charlotte LeBron and Christian Bale. The production was $90 million. They only made $8 million, so that was a flop. Geostorm production cost $120 million, and they made $207 million. So that's what I have for 202. Get the words out of my mouth. 2017's box office hits and flops. So tonight on the show, we are honoring Michael Jackson. Um, he's just one of the greatest people that I've known in show business. He's loved all across the world, regardless to what allegations there may have been against him. People still love him. Excuse me. We came out in droves when he passed away. He passed away suddenly, and it really tore me to pieces for well over a year. I don't know what it done for you, but it was really hard on me. So this evening we're going to honor Michael Jackson. We also got some reggae music for you. We got some Christmas music, and we definitely got some soul music for you. So I want you to sit back, relax, and let's get ready for some show now. Let's see what we're going to play. How about some Gregory Isaacs starting off the show? Well, Ivory Mon. Rumors.
Spreading, claim that I sense in me planting, but I'm an addy done in addy juggling. I feel rumors of one. Please, Mr. Officer, let go me hand. You don't know me and you don't understand. You see me flashing a Chris Rental, so you take that me a criminal. Rumors that spreading, claim that I sense in me planting, but I'm an addy done in addy juggling. I feel rumors of one, rumors of one. I keep a dancing to nice up the place. We buy no flicker and red off them face. Make man and man have money to spend, and all the youth them know me and them friend. Rumors them spreading, claim that I sense in me planting, but I'm an addy done in addy juggling. I feel rumors of one. Of one. Don't matter what kind of jewel me wear, cause me pants it no have no tear. Shoes cost a few hundred a pair, and me have money all through the year. I rumors them spreading, claim that I sense in me planting, but I'm an addy done in addy juggling. I feel rumors of one, rumors of one. Propaganda, rumors of war, love, can't stop it. No way. Rumors them spreading, claim that I sense in me planting, but I'm an addy done in addy juggling. I feel rumors of war. Of one. Please, Mr. Officer, let go me hand. You don't know me and you don't understand. You see me flashing a Chris Rental, so you claim that me a criminal. Rumors that spreading, claim that I sense in me planting, but I'm an addy done in addy juggling. I feel rumors of one, rumors of one. Just to nice up the place, buy no flicker and red off them face. Make man and man have money to spend, and all the youth them know me and them friend. I rumors them spreading, claim that I sense in me planting, but I'm an addy done in addy juggling. Rumors of one, I feel rumors of one. come home. I got a little secret. It's on the hush. Only you and I will know. It's on the hush. It's on the hush. It's on the hush. Only you and I will know. Only you and I will know. I'm not gonna tell nobody. I'm not gonna tell your mama. Only you and I will know. So it feels good. I will rock you, baby. I know you want to do. I'm not gonna tell nobody. So if it's cool, we can do a little something. Y'all wanna do a little something now? So if it's cool, then we can do a little something. Something. Thank you.
You're listening to the Jamaica Funk Show with KT. Well, I remember.
This time of the year, which we call Christmas, people full of cheer, oh, and kitties so wishful, but most of all, to make it complete, there's you, the mistletoe, and me. Look at the flames in the fireplace, embrace each other, and Mother Nature's clad in white. Ooh, what a thing for lovers, yeah. And through the house, all is serene, just you, the mistletoe, and me. Listening to the sounds that come with your tide as they flow from near and far. Looking in your eyes as they're brightly shining with the glow of a distant star. Fate is Santa Claus, and Cupid's his helper. I'm so grateful because, ooh, they brought us together, and together we are, and we will always be just you, the mistletoe and me. Oh, you, mama, I say you, oh, you, mistletoe and me.
Rise up from the dust. Emperor's left side the first year, Emmanuel and Marcus. Babylon can't just get crushed. All we caught, hey, chop. Watch out, tell them, king. Hey, black woman ride. Hey, hey, black man ride. Hey, hey, Ethiopian ride. Hey, hey, yo, rising up from the dust, reach out, cause Ethiopia is a must. Yo, 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 rising up from the dust, we got, look how you can't get crushed. Yo, 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 rising up from the dust. Hey, Babylon will make you greedy so much. Yo, 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 rising up from the dust. Black man, enough to get up, stand up. Have you ever heard about the land of silver and gold? They say that the half have been told. 13 months of sunshine and I burn down the snow. I love to see the crystal water when it come flow. I love to smell the fresh scent of the herb when it grows. Yo, 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 hey, rising up from the dust, reach out, cause Ethiopia is a must. Yo, 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 rising up from the dust, reach out, look how you can't get crushed. Yo, 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 rising up from the dust. Hey, Babylon will make you greedy so much. Yo, 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 rising up from the dust. Hey, black man, no forget to stand up. Well, I know again, I see the youth them rise. Over the years and them not stop compromise. Brainwash education, them utilize. Still I say tradition not that them disguise. Empty barrel of them make the most nice. If a mother hurt them, I try to deprive. What nature made one, none of them can divide. So me sing, rising up from the dust, reach out, cause Ethiopia is a must. Yo, 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 rising up from the dust, reach out, look how you can't get crushed. Yo, 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 rising up from the dust. Hey, Babylon will make you greedy so much. Yo, 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 rising up from the dust. Hey, black man, no forget to stand up. Have you ever heard about the land of opportunity? Where man should live and they should be free. Yeah, they should free from mental slavery and never get caught in a damn fantasy. Yo, 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 hey, rising up from the dust, reach out, cause Ethiopia is a must. Yo, 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 rising up from the dust, reach out, look how you can't get crushed. Yo, 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 rising up from the dust. Aye, Babylon will make you greedy so much. Yo, 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 rising up from the dust. Black man, enough you get up, stand up. Them living in a fantasy. Babylon, them living in a misery. Oh, them living in a fantasy. Babylon living in a misery. Hey,
far as my eyes can see, there's no love for humanity. As far as my eyes can see.
Michael Joseph Jackson, an American icon. Michael Jackson was one of 9 children. He was born on August the 29th, 1958 in Gary, Indiana, to his parents, Joseph and Catherine Jackson. Joe Jackson had been a guitarist who put aside his musical aspirations to provide for his family as a crane operator. Behind the scenes, Joe Jackson pushed his sons to succeed. Catherine Jackson was a homemaker and a devout Jehovah's Witness. Joseph Jackson believed his sons had talent and molded them into a musical group in the early 1960s that would later become known as the Jackson 5. At first, the Jackson family performers consist of Michael's older brothers, Tito, Jermaine, and Jackie. Michael joined his siblings when he was 5 years old and emerged as the group's lead vocalist. He showed remarkable range and depth for such a young performer, impressing audiences with his ability to convey complex emotions. Older brother Marlon also became a member of the group, which evolved into the Jackson 5. Michael and his brothers spent endless hours rehearsing and polishing their act. At first, the Jackson 5 played local gigs and built a strong following. They recorded one single of their own, Big Boy, with the B-side, You've Changed, but the record failed to generate much interest. The Jackson 5 moved on to working as some opening acts for such R&B artists as Gladys Knight and the Pips, James Brown, and Sam and Dave. Many of these performers were signed to the legendary Motown record label, and the Jackson 5 eventually caught the attention of Motown's founder, Berry Gordy. Impressed by the group, Gordy signed them to his label in early 1969. Michael and his brothers moved to Los Angeles, where they lived with Gordy and Diana Ross of the Supremes. As they got settled, the Jackson 5 was introduced to the music industry at a special event in August of 1969, and the group later opened for the Supremes. The first album, Diana Ross Presents the Jackson 5, hit the charts in December of 1969 with its single, I Want You Back, reaching number 1 on Billboard's Hot 100s chart shortly afterwards. More chart-stopping singles quickly followed, such as ABC, The Love You Save, and I'll Be There. For several years, Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 maintained a busy tour and recording schedule under the supervision of Berry Gordy and his Motown staff. The group became so popular that they even had their own self-titled cartoon show, which ran from 1971 to 1972. Despite the group's great success, there was trouble brewing behind the scenes. Tensions mounted between Gordy and Joseph Jackson over management of his children's career. With the Jacksons wanting more creative control over their material, the group officially severed ties with Motown in 1976, though brother Jermaine Jackson remained with the label to pursue his solo career. Now calling themselves the Jacksons, the group signed a new recording deal with Epic Records. By the release of their third album for the label in 1978, Destiny, the brothers had emerged as talented songwriters. The overwhelmingly positive response to Michael Jackson's 1979 solo album, Off the Wall, helped the Jacksons as a group. Triumph, 1980, sold more than 1 million copies, and the brothers went on an extensive tour to support the recording. At the same time, Michael continued exploring more ways to branch out on his own. In 1983, Jackson embarked on a final tour with his brothers to support the album Victory. The one major hit from the recording was Jackson's debut with Mick Jagger, State of Shock. On a 1983 television special honoring Motown, Jackson performed his number one hit, Billie Jean, and debuted soon-to-be famous dance move, the moonwalk. Jackson, a veteran performer by this time, created the step himself and choreographed the dance sequence for the video of the album's other number one hit, Beat It. Off the Wall in 1979, an infectious blend of pop, funk. Michael wowed the music world with the 1979's Off the Wall, which featured a Grammy Award-winning single, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, along with such hits as Rock With You, She's Out of My Life, and the title track, Off the Wall. Released in 1982, Michael Jackson's sixth solo album, Thriller, is the best-selling album in history, generating 7 top 10 hits. The album stayed on the charts for 80 weeks, held the number one spot for 37 weeks. In addition to its popular, unparalleled commercial achievement, Thriller garnered 12 Grammy Award nominations and niched 8 wins, both records. Jackson's victories showcased the diverse nature of his work. For his songwriting talents, he earned a Grammy Best Rhythm and Blues Song for Billie Jean. He also was honored for the single Thriller, Best Pop Vocal Performance Male, and Beat It, Best Rock Vocal Performance Male. With co-producer Quincy Jones, Jackson shared the award of Album of the Year. For this album, Jackson teamed up with rock legend Paul McCartney for their 1982 duet, The Girl Is Mine, which nearly reached the top of the pop charts. His most elaborate music video was for the album title track. John Landis directed the horror Tangled video, which featured complex dance scenes, special effects, and voiceovers by actor Victor Price. The Thriller video was an immense success, boosting sales for the already successful record. In 1985, Jackson showed his altruistic side by co-writing We Are the World, a charity single for U.S. for Africa. A variety of music stars participated in the project, including Lionel Richie, Ray Charles, Bob Dylan, Willie Nelson, Bruce Springsteen, and Tina Turner. Michael Jackson's album Bad in 1987, released as a follow-up to Thriller, it reached the top of the charts with a record 5 number one hits, including Man in the Mirror, The Way You Make Me Feel, and the title track, which was supported by a video directed by Martin Scorsese. Jackson spent more than a year on the road playing concerts to promote the album. While highly successful, Bad was unable to duplicate the phenomenal sales of Thriller. In 1991, Jackson released Dangerous, featuring the hit Black and White. The video for this song, directed by Landis, included an appearance by child star Macaulay Culkin. In the video, Final Minutes, Jackson caused some controversy with his sexual gestures and violent actions. Many were surprised to see the Peter Pan-like Jackson act in this manner. Jackson's music continued to enjoy widespread popularity in the following years. In 1993, he performed at several important events, including the halftime show of Super Bowl 28. Jackson's musical career began to decline with the lukewarm reception to his 1995's History, Past, Present, and Future, Book 1, which featured some of his earliest hits as well as new material. The record spawned two hits, You're Not Alone, and a duet with his sister Janet Jackson, Scream. The spaceship-themed video for Scream, which cost a record-setting $7 million to produce, earned a Grammy for its slick effects. However, another track from the album, They Don't Care About Us, brought Jackson intense criticism for using an anti-Semitic term. In August of 1994, Jackson announced that he had married Lisa Marie Presley, daughter of rock icon Elvis Presley. The couple gave a joint television interview with Diane Sawyer, but the union proved to be short-lived. They divorced in 1996. Some thought that the marriage was a publicity ploy to restore Jackson's image after the molestation allegations later that same year. Jackson wedded nurse Debbie Rowe. The couple divorced in 1999. Jackson's wife, Debbie Rowe, had 2 children through artificial insemination. Son Michael Joseph Prince Jackson Jr., born in 1997, and daughter Paris Michael Catherine Jackson, born in 1998. When Rowe and Jackson divorced, Michael received full custody of their 2 children. Jackson would go on to have a 3rd child, Prince Michael Blanket Jackson II, with an unknown surrogate. Unfortunately, Michael Jackson suddenly passed away June 25, 2009, of a drug overdose. The drug was called Propanol, a sleep drug. Michael was preparing for his final concert, This Is It, and it proved to be This Is It. Michael Jackson, you will be sorely missed, and you are sorely missed. The world lost a great son. May God give peace and rest to you and your soul. This story and much more about the life and times of Michael Jackson was found at biography.com. Thank you for listening to Black History Wednesday with the Jamaica Funk Show. Well, I remind. Hi, this is KT. Did you know that the Jamaica Funk Show comes on 3 nights a week? Tuesdays, where we interview ordinary people doing extraordinary things in their life and or their community at 8:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. And Wednesdays for Black History Wednesday, where we share an extraordinary story of a person of color's life. 9:15 p.m. Central Standard Time, and on Thursdays for Reggae Dance Hall Party with a touch of soul. So listen in on Spreaker.com/Jamaica Funk Show or iHeartRadio and search Jamaica Funk Show. Well, I remind.
Children, they grow up, you know. They don't always become what we want them to be, but they're always our babies. One day, they're all screaming and yelling and running around with their runny noses because they won't keep on their socks on the drafty floor, pinching and punching and squealing high-pitched tones of joy, sorrow, pain, excitement, as they putter about the house, breaking things, touching things, exploring things, making things out of nothing. One day, they won't be so small. One day, they won't be in the house all day. They'll go off to school and make friends and enemies and form attachments. They'll discover a life away from home that will be so exciting and wondrous at the same time. They'll come home at the end of each of their days with stories to tell. Some will be secret. They won't tell even their closest friend, sister, or brother. But the adventures they will have will take place away from us. And they will grow up, and they will cherish them because as they grow older, they will need us less and less. But for right now, they do. They need us to wake them in the morning for school, to make them breakfast and remind them about their homework and chores and those responsibilities that will mold them into adults. They will argue and pout and scream and yell, but for different reasons now. Because they will want to hold on to being a child. And they will long for the day that they can be an adult. And they will be confused, frustrated, happy, depressed, and excited. And we will want them to grow up and still be our children. We will want them to want us more in that day and really just be so happy when they don't. They will leave the house one day. And they won't return. Not as children anymore. They will go to school and make friends and enemies and form attachments. And they will have experiences in the world that are wondrous and exciting and secretive. And they will have stories to tell. Some they won't share with their closest friend, sister, or brother. They will come to us. And they will listen. And we will wish that they were our babies again. For that just brief moment. And then they will leave the house.
Hang on, mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you better this Christmas. And as we trim the tree, how much fun it's gonna be together this Christmas. The fireside is blazing bright. We're caroling through the night, and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Presents and cards are here. My world is filled with cheer and you this Christmas. And as I look around, your eyes outshine the town they do this Christmas. Fireside blazing bright. We're caroling through the night, and this Christmas will be a very special Christmas for me. Yeah. Shake a hand, shake a hand now.
Hey guys, you know when you're having fun and you're enjoying the show and you're enjoying the music, time just it just speeds on by. So we've come to the end of our road tonight. Tune in tomorrow evening at 8:15 for a reggae dance hall party. And I hope y'all out there getting ready for Christmas, because you know it's coming this coming Monday. So until I, hang out with you guys again tomorrow, remember that there is no Jamaica Funk Show without you. So thanks for being here. May God bless you, and may God bless America. Well, I remind.
Certified quality. And that the girl them need and I cry for every day without apology. But them the right way, that's my policy. Shonda Paul alongside Beyonce. Now hear the man say, this a dirty, yeah, big dirty, yeah, dirty, yeah, dirty, yeah. Beyonce, sing it now, yeah.
Baby boy, you stay on my mind, fulfill my fantasy.
Come on, girl, tell me how you feel.
I think about you all the time. I see you in my dreams.
You don't know the love is real.
Baby boy, not a day goes by without my fantasy.
Come on, girl, tell me what's the deal.
I think about you all the time. I see you in my dreams.
You don't know the love is real.
Oh, my baby's fly, baby girl.
Yeah.
Yes, no, hurt me so good, baby. Oh, I'm so wrapped up in your love. Let me go. Let me breathe. Stay out my fantasy.
When they're ready for give me the thing, they're ready for really get to life. Telling me all about the things where you were fantasize. I know you dig the way me step, the way me make me stride. Follow your feeling, baby girl, because they cannot be denied. Come take me in at the night to make we get it amplified. But I quit for run the ship, me now go slip, me now go slide. In other words, the love I got to give it certified. For giving the toughest, longest time for ride. Girl,
Baby boy, you stay on my mind. Feel my fantasy.
come on, girl, tell me how you feel.
I think about you all the time. I see you in my dreams.
You don't know the love is real.
Baby boy, not a day goes by.
Come on, girl, tell me what's the deal.
I think about you all the time. I see you in my dreams.
You don't know the love is real.
Us dancing real close in a dark corner of a basement party. Every time I close my eyes, it's like everyone left but you and me. In our own little world, the music is the sun. The dance floor becomes the
I'm with
sea.
that girl.
Feels like true paradise to me. Baby boy, you stay on my mind, fulfill my fantasy.
Come on, girl, tell me how you feel.
I think about you all the time. I see you in my dreams.
You don't know the love is real.
Baby boy, not a day goes by without my fantasy.
Come on, girl, tell me what's the deal.
I think about you all the time. I see you in my
You
dreams.
don't know the love is real.
Baby boy, you stay on my
Yo,
mind.
babe.
Baby boy, you are so damn
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
Baby boy, won't you be
Yo,
mine?
babe.
Baby boy, let's consider it down. Baby boy, you stay on my mind. Baby boy, you are so damn fine. Baby boy, won't you be mine? Baby boy, let's consider
It's
it
a
down.
top, girl. Me and you together is a rock that, girl. Drive round the town in a your drop top, girl. You know stop shop, girl. Little more the dirty one, rock that world. It's a top, girl. Me and you together is a rock that, girl. Drive round the town in a your drop top, girl. You know stop shop, girl. Little more the dirty one, rock that world.
Baby boy, you stay on my mind, fulfill my fantasy.
Come on, girl, tell me how you feel.
I think about you all the time. I see you in my dreams.
You don't know the love is real.
Baby boy, not a day goes by without my fantasy.
Come on, girl, tell me what's the deal.
I think about you all the time. I see you in my dreams.
You don't know the love is real.
She stepping it,
Atta Anaya,
he stepping it,
Atta Anaya. I know you gon' like it. I know you gon' like it.
I'm stepping up,
Atta Anaya,
I'm stepping up,
Atta Anaya. So don't